Let's go.
Enric, thank you so much for agreeing to do this video. You must have the coolest job title in the world. Explorer in residence. How did that happen?
It's an oxymoron, actually. Explorers are not supposed to be in residence.
Why did one?
Yes. I was an academic. I was a professor at the University of California, and one day I decided that I was just writing the obituary of nature.
The obituary of nature.
And I decided I wanted to do something about it, and I quit academia, and I went to National Geographic, and I proposed to them a project to use exploration, research, and media to help save the wildest places in the ocean. And National Geographic gave me that title, Explorer in Residence, because I was an explorer not only of geography, but also trying to preserve the places that are most wonderful on our planet.
So here you are, exploring the wild places of Davos, the World Economic Forum. Why are you here and not in the Arctic or some remote part of Africa?
Here because I love skiing, and this is the great season. No, just seriously, this is the greatest concentration of heads of state, country leaders, business and finance leaders. So this is a great opportunity to reach out in 1 week to the most powerful and influential people on the planet. So we need people to pay more attention to nature, and this is the place to get them all within a few days.
And it does seem, I mean, I've always been on the outside, and it does have this impression of being a very elitist place. But from what I've learned over the last day or two, and we haven't even started, but in the YGL program and others, does seem a real desire for positive change.
Yeah, I think it is a very elitist place, but we are lucky that we are here. We have been invited. But it's not just about finance and economics. There are people here who are fighting hunger in the Horn of Africa, or people who are dealing with gender equality or child slavery. It is one of the most diverse places on the planet in that Congress Center.
I mean, climate, environmental issues are on more than 70 sessions here, which I think is unprecedented, which is amazing. I mean, also, the emphasis on young people is incredible. I mean, I didn't realize this. I heard Professor Schwab say yesterday, over 50% of the world's population is under the age of, I think it's 27, 26, which is incredible. And I mean, so one of the things that you're working on now is a new deal. Have I got this right? A new deal for nature?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that. Well, why does that matter? And why are people here going to care about that?
Yes. Well, if you breathe oxygen, like we do now, if you eat food, if you drink clean water, you are benefiting from the work of other species. We don't produce food. We don't produce oxygen. We don't produce rain or clean water, right? It's trees and forests and wetlands and ocean ecosystems. But despite depending on all these species for our survival, nature is our life support system, we are transforming nature at a geological scale. Right now, half of the land is transformed, is used for food production. And more than half of the ocean is targeted by industrial fishing. Right? If you weighted all of the mammals on the planet, 96% would be humans and livestock.
Wow. And
only 4% wild, etc., etc., etc. So we are diminishing the ability of the planet to provide for us. We are on a suicidal trajectory, basically.
So do you think a lot of the messaging around environmentalism and conservation, I mean, is comes at it from the wrong direction? I mean, yes, nature, wild animals, I mean, they are absolutely important in their own right, but we're totally dependent on them, and we don't realize that.
We don't realize that because we live in this bubble thinking that the human society and the economy is the most important thing, and nature is something like an externality, right? But we reached a point where if we don't take action in the next 20 years, we are screwed.
So what does action look like?
The climate change community released a report last year that said that we need to go carbon neutral by 2050, or we are going to enter hothouse Earth, and that's irreversible. Then we're having floods and stronger hurricanes and droughts and extreme weather events, global temperatures rising, sea level rising, etc., etc., etc. It's going to be irreversible. What we're seeing now is nothing compared to what's coming. Now, even if we went fully renewable in terms of energy today, we would make it, because we need nature to absorb all this CO2 that we throw in the atmosphere. Right? We need the forest to be there. We cannot continue cutting forests because every forest we cut, we are just reducing the ability of the planet to avert this catastrophic climate change. Plus, all this nature give us all these wonderful services that we need to survive.
Oh, okay.
And economically it makes sense.
And oceans are critical as well in this.
Oceans are critical because the oceans have absorbed 90% of the heat, the extra heat that we have produced in the Industrial Revolution. And the ocean absorbs a third of the CO2 from the atmosphere every year. And it provides food for more than 1 billion people.
So, what are you hoping to achieve here? What does success actually look like here at Davos and I guess beyond Davos?
So in October 2020, next year, in China, there's going to be a critical conference of the United Nations Convention for Nature. Our goal is to have all the countries of the world agree to a new deal for nature. We need to protect, in national parks or reserves, 30% of the planet by 2030. This is absolutely critical, not just for preventing a massive extinction of species, but also for our own survival and for the economy.
And also for tackling climate.
Tackling climate.
We can halve emissions, as the IPCC have said, but if we don't also tackle this side of things as well, we won't get there. We
will not get. It's impossible to achieve the climate agreement goals without the help of nature. Nature is our greatest ally. Nature is our best insurance policy.
I mean, is that the point? If you had the attention of all of the heads of state and CEOs and other world leaders here, is that the message you would give them?
That's the message I would give them. It's not the economy versus nature. Actually, without nature, there is no economy. How many financial markets do we have on the moon or Mars? Right? The biosphere, the living layer, thin living layer of the Earth, is what supports humans, our society, and our economy. Right? The economy is a subset of our society, which is a subset of the living system of the Earth. So we have to. We cannot have nature as something external anymore. We have to account for the cost of our actions.
So without nature, I mean, you heard it here. Without nature, there is no economy. I mean, actually, what better message could you have at the World Economic Forum? So, look, thank you so much for agreeing to do this video.
Thank you, Anthony.
Having this conversation, and as always, please get involved and comment. Really want to, have an engaged community here, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Thank you so much.